Well, you say you want a revolution. Well, you know. Yes. Grab your pitchforks, grab your shovels, grab your guns. In America, they're having problems with giving people checks. I hate being right. It sucks. Yes, the revolution is here. It is coming. There's no time left, basically. We are going to demand the shutdown of everything, the elimination of all debt, as well as electronic assets. There's no plan. Sorry, guys, there's no plan. Some Americans might wait 20 weeks or longer for coronavirus stimulus checks. It looks like news wires like Bloomberg and Reuters have gotten a hold of that memo, or at least the details, judging by these headlines. IRS could take up to 20 weeks to issue all paper checks, House memo. IRS to begin issuing paper checks to individuals during week of May 4th, on the House memo. Around the country, millions of Americans are anxiously waiting their stimulus checks, when their stimulus checks will be arriving, as they hope to God they have a job to come back to, or that, if they've already been laid off, the government stimulus money manages to save their employers and get them back their jobs. But as Trump has said several times during the White House's daily briefings, nothing like this has ever been done before, and while it sounds simple, as was explained the other day, handing out $2 trillion, or at least the amount that's been earmarked for unemployment expansion and stimulus checks, is harder than it sounds. Really, it's really harder than it sounds. You didn't have any difficulty giving the banks their bailout. As a matter of fact, I want to show you guys this. This is the agency mortgage-backed securities transaction summary. This is the Fed having no problem bailing out last week of the mortgage-backed security industry. The bank, it's another bank bailout, taking toxic mortgage derivatives from the banks. Last week, from March 26th to April 1st, $144.571 billion. They gave the banks another $144 billion in mortgage-backed security purchases, toxic assets that the banks have lied, cheated, and stolen on every single one of those mortgages. Yes, the housing market is imploding as we speak. Here's what the Private Road and Patreon Plus members, here's where we are. I'm showing this to everybody because it's ridiculous. So I added the mortgage-backed securities, $144.6 billion, to the POMOs, which puts us permanent bailout operations, $1.471 trillion, and then the overnight repos and reverse repos and the FICC guarantees. Oh, the way puts us up to $2.151 trillion. They don't have a problem bailing out the banks. They have no problem opening the kimono to take what you want. We'll buy everything you got. You don't like your reverse repos that you had set up to bail yourself out for the last 3 or 4 months? We're going to buy them back from you. We'll reverse that. We'll pay you top dollar. Me paying top dollar. Insane. We have gone vertical on the bailout. Look at it. Look at it. Jumping up. We'll hit $3 trillion by Easter. Mark my words. $3 trillion by Easter for the banks. But our government's having a hard time handing out $1,200 checks. Are you kidding me? Why not give everybody $1 trillion? Why not? It's just a computer blip. It is insane. And then, not only that, what else was Steve Mnuchin going to do to help out people? Hours before it starts, the Treasury's small business bailout is on the verge of collapse. Tonight at midnight, the most crucial, if hardly biggest, part of the Fed's $2 trillion fiscal stimulus is expected to begin. That's when small and medium businesses with 500 employees or less can request a loan of up to 2.5 times the average monthly payroll, capped at $10 million, and meant to buy cash-strapped small businesses just under 3 months in liquidity. As we discussed previously, the loans, which were packaged under the SBA's Paycheck Protection Program, carry a 0.5% interest rate and would be given if their proceeds were used towards payroll and will be forgiven if their proceeds are used towards payrolls, utilities, and rent. Needless to say, getting these loans into the hands of American small businesses is absolutely crucial. They employ about half the U.S. private sector employees, according to the Small Business Administration. There's just one problem. With hours to go until millions of small businesses across the nation scramble to apply for much-needed funding, the program appears to be on the verge of collapse, amid what appears to be sheer chaos between the Treasury, the Small Business Administration, and the various commercial banks that will be tasked to loan the action money. One reason why the program is woefully unprepared for a Friday midnight rollout is that banks that haven't underwritten SBA loans before will need to get on board in the system. However, as Politico reports as of last night, there was no application available for banks to do this. And as CNBC's Tyler Tanash adds, Treasury remains committed to originating these loans beginning tomorrow despite hiccups. But wait, there's more. As CNBC's Kate Rogers reports, quote, an official familiar with the Paycheck Protection Program loans rolling out tomorrow says official guidance for banks is not yet finalized. With Kaya adding, in addition to general guidance, banks are asking Treasury for two specific changes in the small business program. One, small banks want higher interest rates so they don't lose money. Two, big banks want the know your customer rules waived so they can lend to companies they haven't worked with. What a complete cluster. Meanwhile, with the supply chain choked off amid last-minute rollout chaos, demand for the bailout cash is exploding, with some estimates as much as $1 trillion in loan requests will be available for $350 billion in first-come, first-served loans. As Trans adds, industry sources state, quote, a feeding frenzy of small business demand for limited resources will be problematic for the system technically. Oh my God, what a cluster. But they had no problem doing this. MBS bailout, look at that. Look at that number. 144,571 million, which is 144.6 billion. In a click of a mouse from the Treasury to the criminal banking operations, making their bailout a cool 2.15 trillion since September 11th when this bullshit all started. Insane in the membrane. Now, if you want to go to Road to Ruta and find out what's going on behind the scenes, in year zero, I have posted the latest Private Road Year Zero update, a behind-the-curtain look at the silver and gold rigging and the gold in the Grand Canyon, the gold at the Manhattan Project, or silver at the Manhattan Project. Unbelievable stuff. Check it all out. Whole bunch of new videos. If you're not on the Private Road, you haven't seen them yet. Or on Patreon Plus, also, you get Patreon Plus. But Private Road, you get the silver Ruta coin. People have been asking me, well, can I just buy, since there's no silver available, can I buy the silver Ruta coin flat out? I want to get 10, 20,000 of them. No, you cannot buy the silver Ruta coin. Only for subscribers. It keeps the limited quantity, and they're each double stamped and numbered. I don't even know what they're going for these days. You're going to want one of these coins. I'm telling you. There's Ruta jumping up and down on the Silver Brick Road, the cave of gold in the Grand Canyon that is actually there. That's why we created the Federal Reserve. You don't know what I'm talking about? Join the Road to Ruta. Hit subscribe today. I'll tell you all about it. This is Bix. Having fun. Talk to you later.
Here's a true story about a man just like you. He worked his whole life, he was honest and true. Built up a nest egg the way they said to. Invest in the market, money works for you. And everything is fine, picking the winners every time. Started to believe he can make dollars out of dime. Little did he know he's being primed for a fall. The Rickers let you play then the riggers steal the ball. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. Got to shut down exchanges, trade one for one. We want free markets, well, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. Capitalism, not as bad as they say. The world has never tried it, rigging markets every day. Socialists fail every time in every way. We need a better system to forge a better day. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. There's a crypto solution, if only done right. We can take out the liars, bring dark into light. And trust in the math, not the people who lie. I think we can make it if we give it a try. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. 'Cause free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Free markets are the road to freedom.